companies like Omnidesk, for example. But these companies, the new companies that I started, then they're not. There's a common misconception that the other companies are actually part of Aftershock, which they're not. The companies that we have started elsewhere or in other industries are 100% separate from Aftershock. Aftershock is completely standalone. There's no combination of any brand. They are run separately. So I took what I learned from Aftershock, and when I started new companies, I would normally just sort of handhold the business partner all the way till they're able to run it solo, and I let go. And then from there, I'll let them take. Like I said, believing in people is a big thing. So for the new companies I've started, I would normally mentor someone, and they will just take full control, and it's run independently. There's no interoperation, there's no interaction at all with Aftershock. Yeah, so
you don't even want to hold the directorship.
I mean, we hold directorship for some, but in general, we're silent. That is the main thing here. I only run Aftershock, and because I want Aftershock to run according to my value system, like I want to make sure that it delivers the experience to our customers as as basically as what I've envisioned. So I want to hold on to that very closely because Aftershock, even though it's no longer the biggest company that we run by quite a long shot, it is the closest one to my heart. Like I genuinely care about. I genuinely care about the mission at Aftershock, and I just want to see it deliver the best custom PC experience possible here. Just try to drive the industry forward.
Nice. So this actually does bring us to the next question. Like from PCs, desks, chairs, you're involved in all of that, right?
No, we don't actually do chairs. So chairs are actually done. So we're actually very close with the people, like good friends with the people from Labs. So we're very happy. Like they've just done amazing. Like we're just completely like floored by what they've managed to achieve. And so we specifically focus on PCs, desks. Like even we had another company doing TVs and whatnot. And but like I said, they are all separate companies. They don't run together. So that's a misconception we wanted to clear because people seem to think they're all the same company. So because like every business owner has a different ideology or mentality for how their business should be run, and I think that I wouldn't want to be involved on a day-to-day basis if it doesn't follow my ideas. So that's why I'm so focused on Aftershock, because Aftershock is fully within my control. So I try to make sure it lives up to my vision basically.
Right.
So what's next, you ask?
Yeah. What's next? Are you going to be going into esports?
No, just focus on expansion for now. We have some plans that might be quite interesting that I can't share today. Like we think that might change the landscape in Singapore in terms of the hardware industry. But I mean, hopefully, not that I'm not going to say that it's going to, but hopefully that's the idea. Give it a shot. But yeah, we want to keep improving. Like right now, the focus right now is just on the improvement of the existing what Aftershock's offerings are. Like, so we want to take things to a new level.
Right, and what's this about chip shortage, right, in the world right now?
So there's been an absolute huge shortage of graphics cards, for example, because of not just increased demand. There's a multiple-fold increase in demand for graphics cards because of the situation, because everybody's staying home, and on top of that, there's mining, right? So we specifically try not to sell mining rigs. Like we try to avoid it because we want to make sure as many of our rigs as possible. Like like that's an example of a business decision where you go for the long term and not the short game. Because during the first outbreak when there was when crypto prices inflated, people offering us crazy amounts for graphics cards, but we just refused to sell it, even though they offered more than like a normal consumer rate. But the cost increased a lot as well. It's ridiculous. Like we tried to keep the cost as reasonable as possible. So during the first COVID, you'll see that Aftershock offered a better cost and almost even DIY. Like we tried to make it as reasonable, but we wanted a long game, which is we wanted to get our PCs in the hands of our target market, which is power users, creators, gamers. That's our target market, and that's the people we want using to experience our PCs. And so we rejected all mass mining, whatever, and we tried to make sure that our PCs went into the hands of the people that needed them for gaming, the people that needed them for creator work, and professionals essentially.
Yeah. Essentially, it's your demographic, the people.
Yeah, it's a long term. Yeah, it's our community, and it's a long term thing. Like we want our users to get our PCs, like essentially.
Right, and all these guys who are actually making all these like mining rigs, right? What do you think they will do once this?
So let's take a look at the first wave of of mining rigs. Like the first Bitcoin thing, like a lot of the companies disappeared after that. So it's hot, but once it's a short term play. Like
Mm.
from my perspective, like it's not long term looking. Like for us, it's simple. We are here. The company is here to deliver the best custom PC experience for gamers and creators, and this is the target market that we want to serve, and we want to serve as well as possible. So we want to make sure that we're always serving this market first and foremost, and we want to make sure that we do the best possible job, and nothing should get in the way of that, even if it looks attractive.
Right. And you early on you mentioned also how you keep your finger on the pulse by playing video games and all this, right? Now, do you also go deeper into the community to actually speak with them one to one, or have you already set up your community managers to do
I
so?
speak to quite a number of people in the competitive scene in games, like partially also because I used to be a competitive gamer. We were friends from childhood. Um, but yeah, I think I do talk to people, but involved in esports, we do get involved in esports events and stuff, but not so much at the moment. Although we have some plans to do so, and also um, I guess being in touch with the community is not just about it's just not just about playing the games themselves. It's also about following what's going on, following the teams and whatnot. So I think Singapore has a lot of room in terms of the esports space to do better. Like, but my viewpoint on esports is very different from a lot of other people. Like most people view esports as just competitive play, like creating the competitions to drive the people. But I think my personal opinion on that is that Singapore has a lot of room to grow in terms of community. Like if we were to create, let's say there was a pool of money to to drive esports in Singapore, the most direct thing that most people might say would be to run esports tournaments and create prize money so that people are motivated to play. But I beg to differ on that. For example, I think that creating a community space where people can meet other gamers of a like mind, create community events where like people just get together, although that's not possible at the moment, and get to know each other. Highlighting people who are rising in the community. That would be a stronger play in terms of building up that ecosystem required for us to create world class gamers. That's what I think.
Right. And what's the setup to actually get something like that done?
Um, well, you got to create first the community platform. There needs to be a platform, the shared platform that everybody uses, and then on top of that, there needs to be some emphasis on just gamers getting together, meeting other people who play the same game, you know, knowing having a database of the clans and whatnot. I mean, that's just a basic start. Like we don't have that now. Like I felt like that was stronger in the past than it is now. Like back then, we had a very close, tight knit community for Warcraft 3. There was all the teams. Everybody knew who was who. It was awesome. There was rivalries. I mean,
Yeah.
the was happy memories.
Right. Donald said the exact same thing when he came onto the podcast as well. That
Oh, really?
today's gamers are very, very different about previously, because when he was also gaming at the time, his clan, or at least the group of gamers the team that he had, were also very close knit. Whereas the gamers today, the younger ones, it's about me, me, me. I just want to be up there as fast as possible, and it's not about the team; it's about me propelling.
Yeah. So that I feel that's changed as well. Like back then, it was always about the team, meeting people, the clan rivalries. It was awesome, and I think some of that could come back with the right push.
Right. Yeah, honestly, it would be really cool if Aftershock could actually lead something like that, but you probably don't have the time, to be honest.
And if we could be that push, why not?
All right, we are at the 40-minute mark. I think that's about as much time as I can get from you. But one last thing that we always do at the end of every show, right, is what we do 10 questions, rapid fire. All right, and this is what we call the epic questionnaire, or 10 questions with our guests. Now, Marcus, are you ready?
Sure. Let's go.
All right. Question number one word that you love the most.
StarCraft. That's the first thing that came to mind. Sorry.
Fine, fair enough. Hey, it says a lot. All right, one word you dislike the most.
Seafood.
Seafood.
Seafood. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't eat seafood at all.
All right. If you could have a conversation with one personal, fictional, non-fictional, dead or alive, who would that be?
Oh, David Kim. I don't know why I still think that. He's the StarCraft balancer. So I used to be my original dream before I did the company was to be a balance tester for RTS games. That was my aspiration when I was a kid. I always wanted to work in a company like Ensemble Studios or StarCraft. Blizzard, and be a balanced tester.
Right. And well, here you are today. I think you've got a brighter future. All right. And what do you say to yourself in the mirror every morning?
Cheer up, because I'm innately a negative person. Like I'm innately a pessimist, um, and my brother is an optimist. So essentially, while things might be going, while I think we've done well, at the same time, I'm a person that always is on the side of caution. And I think for a personal goal of mine is to change that. I want to be a more positive person and look at the bright side of things instead of always looking. It's good to always look for things. Like being a person that is on the side of caution is good. You always look for things you can improve on. You're always worried about things and you always want to do things better, which is what helps push us so far. But at the same time, it may not be the best for your mentality or your health. And I just want to balance that out with a bit more positivity.
Interesting. There's nothing wrong with actually putting optimism together with being a realist.
Yep. I think you need to find a balance, and I'm not exactly that balanced. But then again, most people doing stuff like this are not that balanced, at least from my own experience meeting other business owners.
Honestly,
usually people
all business owners, right, are chemically imbalanced.
Usually they're quite
easy to do what you want to do. All right, name one superpower that you like to have.
invisibility.
Why?
Why not? I don't know. It just yeah, because it's like sometimes I just feel like it's I don't know. Actually, probably not. I always thought the best two superpowers was invisibility and flight. For some reason, I thought they were. The flight is for obvious reasons, right? Or invulnerability might be pretty good. So these three, yeah. So it's just. So why those three? You mean?
No, one of those three is fantastic.
Yeah, one of those three. No, invisibility probably not. Now that you mentioned it, I just thought it was a cool ability. But now that you mentioned it, invulnerability is probably the best because like it just means you're unstoppable, right?
Yeah, true.
Like what would you do if you were Superman? Pretty much.
Yeah, man, tell you. But okay, if I was Superman, of course if I look like Superman, I'd be wearing those blue tights every day, man, tell you. If you look that good, why not?
It's funny. It's just an interesting question. Like, why invisibility? I should ask myself that own question. I've always been a person that like to disappear into the background. Even the fact that I'm doing this podcast is not normal. I've never liked to show. I've never liked to show up. Like in general, like I've always liked to be someone who takes the backstage. Like I like to be running things from behind. So maybe that's why invisibility. I've never liked to be seen so much. Though I've tried to open my mind to it and start taking on some of these conversations.
Yeah, I mean, this is a great thing. To be honest, like what you mentioned, you rarely ever do this, and for you to actually come on because I asked you, right? It's really an honor, that's for sure.
Well, thanks for having me. I still appreciate it.
Oh, please. All right, number 6. This one is either the best or the worst question. Favorite dish to eat?
Ayam kunyit. So it's like a Indonesian peranakan kind of. I'm not sure what it is. It's a dish that my family makes. Yeah, I am. So I'm half Hakka, half Peranakan. So essentially, ayam kunyit is a dish that my family makes. It's like this chicken with like it's just a lot of chili on it and garlic and turmeric. And I absolutely love it. And chicken curries is like it.
Nice. All right. Question 7. Favorite travel spot or the next travel spot you would like to go to once borders open up?
Favorite travel spot, Japan. Next travel spot, Japan. So I'm hoping to go to Japan for a ski season once all this clears up. Absolutely love skiing. I want to learn snowboarding.
Very cool. Now, something in the arts that you've always wanted to do but yet to do so.
Sorry, that got cut off. Can you repeat?
Yeah, something in the arts that you've always wanted to do but yet to do so.
Wow. I mean, I don't know about this question, but if content creation could be considered art, I always wanted to be a gaming streamer. Like I actually intend to do it casually eventually. But I'm not an artistic person at all. I'm that guy that only draws stick figures in arts class. I'm purely like if you look at my brother and me, I'm the mathematical / science guy, and he's the arts guy. So I'm essentially the guy in the arts class that only draws stick man. But yeah, I mean, if something in the arts I want to do, I want to be a content creator. Like I want to stream. I would love to stream, play on the ladder, and talk to my audience. Like just talk to people about the gameplay. Like I play a ladder game. If you have some viewers, you discuss the game with them after the match is over. I mean that just sounds amazing to me.
Donald Yo, you better be listening, Donald Yo, I'm telling you, you better be listening because this man wants to play. You better get him on. Okay? Now, number 9. What does retirement look like to you?
Oh man, this is the question I've actually discussing a lot with a friend recently. Well, if I were to retire, I'd probably travel a bit and spend a lot of time gaming. Like I said, I would probably stream. Like that's actually my plan. If I ever retire, I would probably stream and play competitive games. And if I manage to secure an audience, yeah, like the uncle streamer or something, like whatever.
Yeah.
Like, but the idea is that I'll play competitive meta games, and if I had an audience, and we might work out. I mean, I'm a pretty politically incorrect person, so saying like discussing things or whatnot in a candid way might get me some audience. But if I had an audience, we discuss the gameplay. Like let's say we had a match in StarCraft or League or whatever. After the game, you talk about what could have done better, where we went wrong, go through the replay. I mean, I think that'd be so awesome. Like that was what I loved growing up. Like when I was a competitive gamer, I love having all those sessions with my friends where we watch each other play, we critique each other's gameplay, look for ways to improve. I mean, that's just a blast. I'd love to go back to some of those old days.
Cool. Yeah. Here's you can actually call your channel GG Geriatric Gaming All right, number 10. How do you want to be remembered? What's your legacy?
Wow, I've never actually thought about this, but I don't really want. I mean, people want to be remembered by as a person. It's just my family. I just want to be remembered as somebody who generally did the right thing. Like if I want to be, I'm not really a high profile person, so I think if I were to be remembered, I just want to be remembered as somebody who would do the ethical thing. That's it. That's good enough for me. Like just somebody who if you saw someone need help, you just give them a hand, or if something wasn't right, you call it out. You have the balls to call it out, or whatnot. That's just good enough.
Right. Nice. I really like that, and I appreciate your time. Hey, thanks so much for spending an hour with us. Attending to my every women fancy on this podcast. Now, ladies and gentlemen, once again, thank you so much to my guest and to all of you, of course, for listening. And here again is Marcus Wee, the founder and MD of Aftershock PC. Go on down to aftershockpc.com and make sure you get your rigs really, really soon. While you're supporting them, I always ask for the same thing. Please support us as well. Like, comment, subscribe, do what you need to do on YouTube or on Spotify, wherever you get your podcast. Okay? With that, ladies and gentlemen, we are out. See ya.